Welcome to Finding Your Worth from Within, the podcast where I'm going to be helping you up-level your life, find your true self, and ignite the best version of you. I'm your host, Sana, your go-to self-worth mentor, facilitating hundreds of women to unlock your self-belief, master your emotions, and take back control of negative thoughts. We're going to be covering everything self-worth for South Asian women, how to ditch your self-doubt, kick other people's judgment to the curb, and learn how to finally use your voice clearly and with confidence. With the practical tools and spiritual teachings that I give you in this podcast, don't be surprised when this magic begins to massively elevate your life. So whether you're going for a walk, driving home, or listening with a cup of coffee, let's get stuck in. Welcome to another episode of Finding Your Worth from Within. Today we have a little bit of a different episode where I am bringing you a previous client to hear her journey and to hear the magic of this work and what it did for her life, how she made changes, and the pinnacle points that turned her life 180. I look forward to you getting an insight into what it is like for the clients to have gone through this journey. So whether you're doing your household chores, out on a walk, or in the car, enjoy.
Thanks for joining me today and sharing your story with me. So first of all, I wanted to ask, when you first started working together with me, where were you at and what were you most struggling with?
So I was really struggling with making decisions for myself and making sure that I really developed myself. So I kept repeating the same thoughts and questioning everything that I was doing. And my thoughts kept spiraling into a point where I wasn't able to do things. So I'd spent most of my time thinking about it and talking myself out of doing things that would be good for me.
Yeah.
So I felt like I needed strategies to help me with this. And I started reading up on like affirmations and positive thinking, which was fine, but it still wasn't helping me with my self-worth and progressing with certain things.
Because you came to me and you're already in this kind of bit like the spiritual journey of side of things. And it was kind of, I remember you saying, I'm just lacking that motivation. Like you said, you were not able to do these things, like carry on with them perhaps. So
yeah, I definitely felt like I was on a path to development and making myself better. I recognized I needed to do stuff for myself. I wanted to improve in certain areas of my life. And I felt like there was a jigsaw piece missing, and I couldn't quite figure out why I couldn't move forward. And it was just that spiraling of thoughts. And in the end, I'd just give up and say, right, okay, that's not working.
So throughout the journey, what was your biggest takeaway, or what would you say you use most in life now, what you learned from our time together?
I think the biggest thing for me was that I didn't realize that how I was reacting to situations today was because of beliefs I had from past experiences. And as a child, I mean, I had an amazing childhood. So when we did work on the inner child and went back to specific situations, it gave me so much clarity and deep understanding of why I reacted in certain situations today and why I had certain self-beliefs. So once I understood that, and we went through other techniques to introduce like new self-beliefs and how to deal with those things, it was such a revelation, and it really helped me. And one of the self-beliefs was that self-love is selfish.
I remember that one. I remember the session when you were like, oh, that's where it came from.
And even though I knew it was important to look after myself, there was just these stumbling blocks where I just couldn't, because I'm a mother, I work full time, I'm a wife, I've got all these relationships and responsibilities. And I just couldn't figure out why am I putting myself last? I know all these things are important, and I know my health and doing certain things for myself are important. I just couldn't get to it. So the revelation that my limiting belief was that self-love is selfish, and going back to that was one of the most biggest takeaways that I took, and the work that we did to help me have positive self-belief,
Yeah.
and all the other steps that I needed to take place.
Because you really did take action with that, and you really were like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. And then the yoga on a Sunday and stuff like that. And it didn't matter if the kids had breakfast half an hour later or whatever, as long as you really fit in your things for yourself, didn't you?
Yeah, and it changed the way that I thought about self-love. Like taking time to work on myself means that I'm a better person, I'm a better mum, I'm a better wife, colleague, all those other relationships that you have, responsibilities I had. And even though I sort of knew that, but no matter how much I told myself, I just didn't have the techniques or mechanisms to put that into practice.
Carry them out.
Yeah.
And so how do you feel about that belief now?
Oh, it's changed me so much. I realized that self-love isn't selfish. It actually adds to the person that I am. And it's improved so many aspects in my life. And it's really like a springboard to doing other things to help me develop as a person. So, I take that time now to go to yoga classes. I do meditation without feeling guilty.
Yeah.
And I think that's the important bit.
Funny that you said that about the springboard, because I always say that, like, working with me will facilitate other changes. Like, this is just the beginning. This is where we're going to start, and you're going to be able to bounce off that and move forward. So looking at the sessions and thinking about everything that you went through, like, there were some sessions where there were huge energy shifts. You could see them, and there was tears and there was emotions. What for you stuck with you the most? What with you, like, really still is with you now?
I think it's the techniques that you gave me, which were things like, the tapping technique, and the neuro-linguistic programming that you do, which I had heard of and sort of researched and sort of had a basic understanding. But the fact that you went through it specifically for me is what really helps, and it's tailored towards me. You can read these things, but they don't really fit into your life and your situation. So pretty much all the techniques that you taught me, the NLP, the inner child work, the tapping techniques, and so much more. The shadow work, there's so much there. And it is an emotional roller coaster. And
it really is.
It really was an emotional roller coaster. But I could see the benefits after we did those sessions and as I reflected on them.
So, like you said, you had an understanding of all these things beforehand. What helped? Did it help having a coach there to be accountable to?
Definitely. I think that accountability is a real factor in my development, because I think what we did in those 3 months, it would have taken me years, if not longer, to actually put those things into practice. And you need someone like you to guide you through that, to see things that you don't realize you're saying or doing.
And that's it, isn't it? You just don't realize it, and it's them light bulb moments like, oh, that's why, oh, this is what I'm saying, I didn't realize I'm telling myself this, all that kind of thing.
And you would really pick up on things that I'd said, and when you repeated them back to me, I was like, did I really say that?
There was a couple of phrases, and you were quite shocked, because I said, you've said this 4 times in the last hour, and you were like, oh.
And funny thing is I'm quite a confident person. And so when there are stumbling blocks and you repeated things that I was saying, I was like, is that really me? Did I really say that? And it sort of filled in the gaps where I was going wrong. And
you found that jigsaw piece to put in. So if there was somebody thinking of working with me and wasn't sure if they should invest in themselves, what would you say?
So I think it's great to do research on techniques and, invest in things that help you. But to get that one-on-one session that's specific to you is definitely worth investing in. For me, it was just a first step, but it really acted as a catalyst to help me explore other things and to improve. So I would use it as your basic foundation to help then explore other things.
Yeah.
It's definitely worth investing in yourself because no one else is going to do it. And
no one else is.
Yeah. And exactly. And like me, it just filled in some of those gaps and that personal one-to-one touch. And you're so approachable, Aman, and you get it, and you helped guide me through some very difficult conversations that I wouldn't have with anyone else.
Yeah.
And so that meant a lot.
Oh, thank you. Well, it was so lovely working with you. And I'm so glad you've now, like you said, it was a catalyst, because I know you're on another journey now. Like, it's like stripping layers back, self-confidence and self-development is, and you took the plunge to strip that first layer back, and now you're there stripping others, and you're really getting in touch with your spirituality, aren't you? You're really looking for other modalities.
Yes, definitely. And it's just building on the basic foundation that you set out for me. And it's been a fantastic experience. I would recommend it to anyone that feels stuck or doesn't know how to move on with things, or is just doubting themselves in their approach to life. Go ahead and book, because it's amazing.
Oh, thank you so much. And thank you for sharing your journey with us today.
Thanks, Aman.
Bye.
If this episode resonated with you, then hit the link in the description to find out more about my brand new 6-month group program, Your Next Chapter. We are igniting self-worth, cultivating confidence, and taking back from negative thoughts like you have never before. Or if you just want to explore how I can help you turn your life around 180, you can book a call with that exact same link in the description. As always, thank you for listening. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Finding Your Worth from Within. If today's message resonated with you, it would mean the world to me if you could follow, rate, and leave a review. Sharing the podcast with someone that you feel may benefit is the best way to help it grow and spread this important message. To stay connected between episodes, come hang out with me on Instagram @Mentoring. Can't wait to see you there.